Mobile Technology in Medicine, presented by Walter Woods. Overview. Mobile technology is improving medicine, can replace 80% of what a physician does. There are new ways of learning for doctors, med students, and nursing students. Half of healthcare cost is associated with medical technology, improvements to healthcare for patients, and advantages and disadvantages. Mobile access to medical information is the number one advantage. Today, patients have the same access to medical apps as doctors, which can help make the doctor's job easy by patients actually studying on medical conditions and symptoms and learning about treatment options. It improves the learning ability for doctors and med students because information is constantly updated as new research has been developed. The addition of 3D modeling, as we see in this picture, makes learning so much more interesting for students as well as doctors. Extremely high costs. 40 to 50% of the healthcare budget is tied up in medical technology. Another issue is having older doctors to become receptive to the idea of using mobile technology in medicine. Also, a report that I read that's also on my Pearl Tree said that medical technology is being forced onto doctors and hospitals even more. The chart below is an illustration of how technology costs associated with physicians is continuing to increase each year. The integration of e-textbooks, beautiful 3D visuals, and the addition of audio with video for learning has really changed the way that medicine is taught and learned. Not only does it make a teacher's job easier, it actually makes learning medicine a whole lot funner and interesting for students. I could only imagine what students from 50 years ago felt like when reading this compared to students nowadays that have this. Another cool thing is that this information is updated all of the time. According to research that I did that you can also look at on my Pearl Tree, is that the Taber's Medical Dictionary has over 60,000 definitions and entries. And over the past 2 years, it has had 9,000 updates with new information as well as new definitions. This is very critical and very important to help doctors to be able to treat patients in the proper way. As I stated in the overview, 80% of what doctors do can be replaced by medical technology. In 2005, a medical school in Florida did a case study with 82 patients that entered into ICU. 7 of those patients died because of the standard treatment that they received when coming in with fevers ranging from 101.3 to 104. The standard treatment was 3 different types of drugs. One was the Tylenol that supposedly breaks fever. Long story short, the physicians felt that it was unethical to continue doing the research and they stopped it. I also read another report that stated that you can bring 3 different physicians in a room to look at a patient and you will find out they will give you 3 different diagnoses for them. That's not to say that those diagnoses will be correct. Another study said that doctors don't remember more than half of what they have learned in medical school. So using medical technology that continues to improve and have updated information that makes it quicker for doctors to access records, do testing, look up new prescriptions and behavior modifications, etc., can make their job a whole lot easier and it can save a lot of patients' lives. The future of medicine will continue to rely heavily on technology. For doctors to have quick, easy access to new and updated information is vital because it can help save a patient's life. The same thing goes for a family member that may be concerned with the health condition of another family member, having easy access to medical mobile apps to research conditions that family members have is also another reason to adapt. The major reason for not adapting to technology in medicine is that some technology is risky. This is a chart that I found that shows how the FDA requires detailed testing for safety and effectiveness on humans before allowing the sale of life-sustaining medical devices. However, medical companies have been passing off different technology pieces to the FDA as replicas of another piece of technology that is already on the market. The problem with this is that some of those technologies that are already on the market already have lawsuits pending against them from deaths and injuries to people. We can take the mesh implant surgeries as one, and we can take the Mirena as another example. Technology is a way of making money, and everybody is trying to make money off of it. So the underlying conditions that are caused by these replicas and not having truly the proper testing causes more harm than good. So sometimes it's good not to adapt to certain technologies in medicine. Healthcare costs is one of the main barriers of medical technology. In a report that I researched for my Module 3 Pearl Tree, it states that 40 to 50% of healthcare costs is associated with medical technology. Another barrier is getting older doctors to adapt to using new technology. It's going to be hard to do because some doctors graduated back in the 60s and the 70s and they're used to doing things the way that they were taught. Then having to retrain staff and even educate patients on the new technology can take extra time and also cost extra money, especially if staff have to go back to school to be retrained to use the new technology. According to another article that I researched, the number one way to overcome barriers is to adapt the universal healthcare system that Europe has. Another article I researched said that cutting down on technology costs is another important issue. There's a lot of technology that is used in the medical field that is not necessary, especially iPads for signing consent forms. Improvements. Use only necessary technology. Encourage patients to use mobile technology more and continue to improve patient health. The only use of technology in medicine should be to improve doctors' knowledge and patients' health. That means all of the other useless things that I discussed before should be cut out. Patients should be encouraged to use mobile technology more so that they can educate themselves on the conditions that they have, and I believe that it would also make the doctor's job a lot easier as well. Some medical schools, in a research article that I read, are using technology to continue to improve patient health by increasing bedside manner response using technology. And that's very important because you want to make sure that a patient is comfortable. There are a lot of hospitals that have very bad bedside manners, and it is important to make sure that the patients are in a very comfortable atmosphere at all times. My final comments would be to continue to improve on things that have already been improved and to cut out things that are not needed. Overall, we have to realize that health of the patients is much more important than having the coolest new technology for us to sign our names on consent forms. I just believe that is just something that is not worth using, and it actually costs a lot more money that can be used to have technology that improves a patient's health and also improves a doctor's, a nurse, and a medical student's knowledge of healthcare and medicine.